Did you know nearly 1 in 4 children in the US lives with a single parent? That's a staggering number, isn't it? When I first came across that statistic, it truly stopped me in my tracks. It painted a picture of millions of families led by one incredible individual, navigating the complexities of parenthood alone. It made me think about the sheer weight of responsibility, the constant juggling act, and the unwavering dedication it takes to raise a child single-handedly. That number is more than a statistic. It's a reality for millions. It represents real people with real lives, facing real challenges every single day. It's the single mom working 2 jobs to make ends meet, the single dad coaching his child's soccer team, the grandparent stepping in to provide unwavering support. These are the faces behind the numbers, the stories that deserve to be heard. It means that everywhere you look, there are parents juggling it all, often in silence. They're managing work, childcare, household chores, and everything in between, often without a partner to share the load. They're the unsung heroes of our society, working tirelessly to provide the best possible life for their children, often sacrificing their own needs and desires along the way. We're the CEOs, the cooks, the comforters, and the sole providers. We wear many hats, often all at once. We're the problem solvers, the decision makers, the shoulders to cry on. We're the ones who make sure the bills are paid, the lunches are packed, and the homework is done. We're the backbone of our families, and we wouldn't have it any other way. For many, especially single mothers, the financial pressure is relentless. The struggle to make ends meet can be overwhelming, especially when facing rising costs of living and limited access to resources. It's a constant worry, a never-ending balancing act between providing for their children and ensuring their own financial stability. It's a constant calculation. Bills or groceries, needs or wants. Every dollar is carefully considered, every purchase weighed against the needs of their children. Sacrifices are made daily, often without complaint, as single parents prioritize their children's well-being above their own. But this isn't just about hardship. It's about resilience, pride, and fierce love. It's about the unwavering determination to overcome obstacles, the deep sense of pride in their children's accomplishments, and the unconditional love that binds them together. It's about proving that a single-parent family can be just as strong, just as loving, and just as successful as any other family. When I learned this, I stopped seeing my life as a personal failure and started seeing it as a shared experience. I realized that I wasn't alone in my struggles, that there were millions of other single parents facing similar challenges. It was a moment of profound connection, a realization that I was part of something bigger than myself. We're not alone, we're a powerful community, and our stories matter. Our experiences, our triumphs, and our challenges deserve to be acknowledged and celebrated. By sharing our stories, we can break down stereotypes, build connections, and inspire others to embrace their own journeys with strength and resilience. So let's talk about what it really means to be a single parent today. Because our strength deserves to be seen, our resilience deserves to be recognized, our love deserves to be celebrated. We are single parents and we are a force to be reckoned with. Hi everyone, my name is Emma and I'm so glad you're here. I wanted to take a moment to introduce myself and share a little bit about why I'm so passionate about this journey we're about to embark on together. This isn't just about me, it's about us, about creating a community where we can all learn and grow. I'm the proud and often exhausted mom of 3 amazing kids. First, there's Leo, my energetic and curious oldest. He keeps me on my toes and constantly reminds me to see the world with wonder. Then there's Maya, my sweet and creative daughter, who has a heart of gold and a talent for making everyone around her smile. And last but not least, Sam, my youngest, who is full of mischief and keeps us all laughing with his silly antics. Our home is a beautiful kind of chaotic, filled with love, laughter, and let's be honest, a fair amount of mess. It's a place where imagination runs wild and where we try to embrace the imperfections. And to keep it all running, I work as a freelance designer, which means I'm juggling deadlines, client calls, and school pickups, all while trying to maintain some semblance of sanity. It's a challenging but rewarding life. Being a single parent means there's no backup paycheck to rely on when things get tough. There's no partner to tag in when I'm feeling overwhelmed or need a break. Every single responsibility, from the mundane to the monumental, ultimately falls on me. It can be a heavy burden to carry, but I'm learning to navigate it one day at a time. Along the way, I've definitely made my share of mistakes. I'm not perfect, and I don't pretend to be. I've cried in secret, worried sick about bills, and panicked over late payments more times than I care to admit. Those moments can feel incredibly isolating and scary. But through it all, I've also learned so much about myself, about resilience, and about what truly matters in life. I've adapted to unexpected challenges, found creative solutions to seemingly impossible problems, and discovered a well of strength within myself that I never even knew existed. It's amazing what you're capable of when you have no other choice but to keep going. So my story isn't about being some kind of superhero mom who has it all together. It's about being real, about embracing the messy, imperfect reality of life, and about finding the beauty in the everyday moments. And that's why I want to share the tools, strategies, and mindset shifts that have helped me along the way. The things that help me move from a place of constant fear and anxiety to a place of empowerment and confidence. Because this is about so much more than just budgeting tips and tricks. It's about learning to forgive yourself for past mistakes and letting go of the guilt that holds you back. It's about having the courage to ask for help when you need it and building a support system that lifts you up. And it's about finding joy and gratitude even in the midst of the chaos and challenges. So if you're in the trenches of single parenthood too, feeling overwhelmed and unsure of where to turn, please know that you are absolutely not alone. There are so many of us out here navigating similar challenges and supporting each other along the way. So grab a cup of coffee or tea or whatever your favorite beverage is, and let's figure this whole thing out together, one step at a time. We'll share our experiences, offer advice, and celebrate each other's successes. Because I truly believe that you've got this. You are stronger and more capable than you think. And remember, I've got your back every step of the way. Welcome to our community. The hardest part of single parenthood, the financial strain. Every expense is a careful calculation, every field trip a question mark. You're the only safety net. If you fall, everyone falls. Beyond money, you're also the driver, nurse, plumber, and bedtime storyteller. There's no one to hand the baton to when you're exhausted. The mental load is enormous. Every appointment, every deadline, every grocery list lives in your head. It's isolating, especially when friends can't fully understand the weight you carry. Even small surprises like a broken appliance can throw everything into chaos. This isn't a complaint, it's reality. Acknowledging the weight is the first step to learning how to carry it. The emotional toll of single parenting is just as heavy as the financial one. Stress is constant, simmering beneath the surface. Sleepless nights, short tempers, and feeling overwhelmed become the norm. Loneliness creeps in. No partner to share the day's stories or worries. At school events, you stand alone, wishing for someone to lean on. Then there's the guilt for not giving your kids a two-parent home, for missing events, for being tired. This guilt steals your joy and confidence. You learn to compartmentalize, but it's not sustainable. The key is to acknowledge these feelings and give yourself the same compassion you give your kids. Survival and thriving starts with self-kindness. My first battle was facing the finances head-on. I started with a zero-based budget. Every dollar had a job before the month began. Cash envelopes for groceries and gas kept me honest and curbed impulse buys. We did no-spend weekends, getting creative with free fun and teaching my kids that joy doesn't have to cost money. I automated even tiny savings. $10 a week added up over time. Watching that emergency fund grow, even slowly, was empowering. These habits gave me control and peace of mind. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. Every small step counts. You can build security one decision at a time. Structure saved our sanity. Predictable routines gave my kids security. Morning rituals, after-school rhythms, and a set bedtime. For me, rituals were essential. My 15-minute morning with coffee and quiet set the tone for the day. I let go of perfection. Sometimes breakfast is for dinner and the house isn't spotless. My kids don't need a perfect mom, they need a present one. Setting boundaries became crucial. Saying no to extra work or social events when I was drained. Small acts of self-care, like a bath or a solo walk, aren't luxuries, they're maintenance. Protecting my well-being made me a better parent. You can't pour from an empty cup. Find your own rituals and guard them fiercely. They're your lifeline. For 2 long years, I felt like I was drowning, completely submerged by the relentless waves of credit card debt. It was a period marked by sleepless nights and constant worry, a dark cloud hanging over every aspect of my life. It became a constant source of shame and stress, a heavy burden that I carried with me everywhere I went. The mounting balances and the ever-increasing interest rates felt like an insurmountable obstacle, a never-ending cycle of financial despair. I felt trapped, with no clear path to escape. The turning point wasn't dramatic, no sudden windfall or miraculous event. It was a quiet, almost imperceptible shift in my mindset, a conscious decision to finally face the numbers, to confront the reality of my financial situation head-on. I knew that avoidance was no longer an option. I had to take control. I sat down and meticulously wrote down every single debt from the smallest balance to the largest, carefully calculated the interest rates associated with each one, and began to understand the true cost of my debt. With a clear picture of my finances, I made a plan, a step-by-step strategy to tackle the debt and regain control of my financial life. Using the debt snowball method, a strategy that focuses on building momentum, I decided to tackle the smallest balance first, aiming for a quick win that would motivate me to keep going. I scoured my budget and found an extra $75 a month that I could throw at the debt, sacrificing some luxuries to prioritize my financial freedom. I even mustered the courage to call my credit card company and negotiate a lower interest rate, a move that saved me money and accelerated my progress. That small victory, that initial success, changed everything. It gave me hope and a renewed sense of determination. 6 months later, I proudly paid off my first credit card, a moment of immense relief and accomplishment. It wasn't just about the money, although that was certainly a significant part of it. It was proof that I was capable of solving my own problems, of taking control of my life and achieving my goals. Breaking big, overwhelming challenges into small, manageable steps gave me the confidence to tackle everything else that came my way. Remember, you're more capable than you think. You have the strength and resilience to overcome any obstacle. For too long, I tried to do it all alone, thinking asking for help was weakness. But true strength is knowing when to share the load. My first step was swapping babysitting with another single mom. Suddenly, I had support and solidarity. We built a small network trading clothes, sharing groceries, carpooling, and being each other's emergency contacts. This tribe became my lifeline. Support doesn't have to come from a partner. It can be a neighbor, a fellow parent, or an online group. Find your people and let them in. Community is the invisible scaffolding that holds you up. If you take one thing from my story, let it be this: build your village. You're stronger together. We've walked through the realities, the burdens, and the strategies that help us survive and thrive. From budgeting to routines, from facing debt to finding community, these tools transform my life. The hardest job I've ever had made me who I am: strong, resilient, and resourceful. My kids are learning not from my perfection, but from my perseverance. Some days you'll feel like a superhero, others like you can't take another step. On those days, remember, you're part of a powerful community. You are not failing, you're doing an amazing job. Celebrate the small wins and give yourself grace. Share your own tips and stories in the comments. Let's build a library of support. We're in this together.